Welcome to the Every Brain is Different podcast. It is Samantha and Lauren here with you. Before we get started, I just want to say if you have a kid that you are having trouble with, not trouble with, but like just struggling because you think you're doing everything right and they're still having the maladaptive behavior and they're arguing with you and they're refusing to do things, I'm just saying solidarity. Not going to expand on that, but just solidarity. And I see you, and you're a good parent. I'm just going to tell you that. You're doing your best. You're a good parent. I am going to expand on that. My kid this morning, he said he only wanted morning appointments. So I made him an appointment at 8:15 in the morning. And then this morning he's like, no, that's too early. I'm not going. And he refused to go. So he didn't go. And it was a chiropractor appointment. So I took the chiropractor appointment because I wasn't going to pay like the no-show fee. And I
Yeah.
needed to go anyway. But I'm just saying, we have been giving him so much space. He has pathological demand avoidance. We have been giving him so much space and so much everything, trying to regulate his nervous system. And it's not his fault. It's not my fault. Like, you both can be doing all the right things. And sometimes the nervous system just says no. And I am struggling with that. And so I just wanted to tell you all, if you are struggling with that, I see you. Keep going. But that is actually a lot of about what we're talking about today. We're continuing the conversation on clothing. So we
Mhm.
talked about mostly sensory stuff last week with clothing, like how it feels, how kids feel in it, different stuff like that. And so definitely go back and listen to that. Today, we're going to talk about how clothing affects kids' identity, autonomy, and maybe a people pleaser problem. If you think about it, kids are often given clothes without a voice or a choice. They're just given
Yeah.
clothes.
It's easier to
And
stop without them.
yeah. And so they're just given clothes and they're told to wear these clothes with no choice. And I don't know about you, but with me, clothing is a big part of my identity. Like, I identify with the clothes that I'm wearing. I express myself with clothing. And so why are we taking that away from kids? I never thought about that until I started doing this podcast. So
I mean,
that,
you gotta think in like restraints and budgets and stuff like that, but there are all things we can do to get around that.
yes, exactly. So obviously you have your budget. You have to stay within your budget. You're not going to go buy your kid, maybe you're going to go buy your kid $100 pants. I'm not going to go buy my kid $100 jeans, but
Not even
that's my
mine.
budget. You might do that, and that's okay. No shade, no judgment, whatever. I just can't afford that. Yeah, so just think about that it's an early identifier of who they are, how they want to express themselves, and that's okay to let them choose that. But a lot of times we don't give kids that choice. And so that can add to maybe they're not getting other choices in their life. So if we could give them choices over clothing, that will help alleviate some of the pressure that they feel that they don't get any choice over their lives.
Yeah.
And then when kids are allowed to choose their outfits, even random or odd combinations. You should have seen what my daughter went to school with today. I was like, whatever, I don't care. You're going to school. It didn't look horrible. It just isn't what I would have chosen.
I know a kiddo who had two different types of
Oh,
shoes, very different looks, but he was comfy and he liked it, and that's all that matters.
yeah, as long as he's comfy, because I think that would be so uncomfortable. But you do you. But when kids are allowed to choose their outfits, they are shown to be more regulated, more rooted in themselves, less likely to people please, and more confident navigating the world. I don't know about you, but when I have on clothes that I feel confident in, I am all these things. Like
Yeah.
I feel good because I think I look good, and so I am more regulated. I don't people please as much because I'm more confident. And I feel like children should get the opportunity to do that. Some
Yeah.
kids don't care. They don't care what they wear, and that's cool. You can give them choices in other parts of their lives. I think you should give choices to your kids in whatever parts of their lives that they can have choices in, because lots of kids don't get
Don't get
choices in a lot of
yeah.
they don't get choices in their life. And so this is an easy way to give them a choice and help them feel responsible for themselves. And then there is a choice component where a lot of kids who are neurodivergent, especially autism and ADHD, they get overwhelmed when they're asked to make a choice. And so if you want to start small and maybe don't take your kid to the store and they've never picked out clothes before and you just say, you can have whatever you
Yeah.
want. Like, no, we're
It's
not
too
doing that.
much.
Yeah, it's like when we went on vacation and I took my kid into the biggest souvenir shop on the property. And I said, you can have whatever you want. I thought I was doing a good thing because I was giving him lots of choices and we were there to see all the different things. And he ended up crying. And I was very proud of him. He was crying and he said, this is too much. This store is too big. There are too many options. I need a smaller store. So then we just went to a smaller store and he was able to pick something just fine. So but you know your kid. So if they do get overwhelmed by a lot of choices, don't take them to a big department store and say, you can have whatever you want. Maybe take them to a smaller store or bring home some outfits with knowing that you're going to have to take some back and just let them try different things. Or you could take pictures of clothes, look online. Yeah, just look online and see what they like. And then if they want to buy them online, that's fine. But if they want to maybe feel them before buying them, then you can take them to the store and they can feel them in the store. I know that my son really likes to feel the clothes before he buys them. And so we look at stuff online and then we go to the store to actually see it and feel it and try it on before he buys it, because there's a lot of things that he'll be like, yeah, that looks really awesome. And then we get there and he feels it and he says, absolutely not. I am not wearing that. And
Terrible
that's fair.
question.
That's fair. And then you can have a sensory checklist to go through with your kids. So is it itchy? Is anything poking you? Is it soft enough? Different things like that. You can go through yes, no, and weigh the pros and cons. But I feel like if there's anything sensory wise that's bugging them, they're probably not going to wear it anyway. But you can have that checklist just to make sure that all the things are checked yes, that they like it before you buy it. Maybe they're not thinking about things, certain things when you get it, and then they get home and they notice it. So just notice it in the store. And then allow repeat outfits without shame. Like I said in the last podcast, my friend in fifth grade wore the same outfit every day. She never smelled or anything like that. Her parents just washed it every day and it was fine. And she thrived. But I can guarantee you, because she told me, she said, if my parents didn't let me wear this shirt, I wouldn't come to school because I can't come to school without this shirt. So just think about that. Like, if school is a big issue for your kid and they feel safe when they're wearing certain clothing items, let them wear those items. It's okay.
Buy
And
multiples
yeah,
if you can of the favorites.
what'd you say?
Buy
Oh, yeah.
multiples of the favorites if you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know why her parents didn't buy multiples, but if you can, buy multiples, and that would be amazing. Clothing can also build autonomy and executive functioning and self-advocacy. So you can teach your kid if they don't like clothing, that it's okay to tell you that they don't like it, not to shame them for not liking it, not make them feel bad for not liking it. Like, it's not their fault. With me and silk, for example, I despise silk. I hate it on my skin. I hate touching it. I hate all the things. And if I were to tell someone, my mom respected that when I was a kid. She did not buy me things that were that because she knew that I had a visceral reaction to it. But if she were to make me feel bad or make me feel like something was wrong with me because I didn't like, it's not my fault that my body doesn't like that. It's my
Yeah.
sensory system. So just think about that. And then shift from thinking what looks appropriate to what helps your child's nervous system function. And we talked about this last time too, but just going into it a little bit more. What does your child need for their sensory system or their nervous system to function appropriately? They need sensory comfort. They need to be able to move, like they need to move. So if clothing is restricting movement needs, think about that. And then those two things help with emotional regulation so they're not already overstimulated. And then one little thing happens and then they have a meltdown and all of that. And so they're able to better handle the transitions and changes in school than if they were uncomfortable sensory wise. They weren't able to move like they needed to move, so they're already overstimulated, and then they can't handle anything during the school day, and then they get in trouble, and it goes on and on.
Repeat cycle.
Yep, it's just a vicious cycle. So, how can we support our kids with what they have now? Obviously, if they're not having any issues with clothing, that's cool. You don't have to worry about it. But I would revisit the clothing that they already own, find the clothes that they like, and then just put the other stuff away. Or, like we talked about last time, you can keep it in their closet, but not pressure them to wear it. So they can see it, get used to it, maybe they'll touch it and just get familiar with it, and then they're able to wear it. If it really bothers them, like it sets them off just to see it, then just get rid of it. It's fine because you don't want to keep setting them off every day.
Yeah.
Like, I can guarantee you when I was a kid, if my mom would have kept a silk shirt in there on the off chance that I was going to wear it, I guarantee you I would see it every day and it would make me have a visceral reaction every single day when I saw it. But if it was other clothes that I just need to get familiar with, then that's fine. Just I needed that time to get familiar with the clothes, and that's totally fine. Like my kid with his shoes, he needed to be able to see the shoes every day, and then one day he just decided that he was going to wear them. So if your kid needs to get familiar with them, let them get familiar with the clothes. If they don't, then don't keep the clothes. It's totally okay to get rid of the clothes, even if somebody gave it to them.
Ooh, yeah. I've
Yeah,
gotten some clothes and I'm like, I don't want this. I don't.
yeah,
I feel obligated to keep it in my closet though.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to, guys.
Somebody actually gave me something once. It was the weirdest thing. They gave me something and they said, I don't care if you use this, I just want you to keep it. And I said, that's weird, but okay, I'll keep it. Just so you... It was so somebody else could see that I had it. I don't know. It was weird. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You can just say, I'm not going to use this. I don't have room for it in my closet, and just donate it. So, talking about parent takeaways, what can parents do right now, or what can you do right now to support your kid? We're just gonna review some things. You can let kids repeat outfits. You know what works really well? If your kid has a hard time making decisions, you could just have an outfit a day and they wear that outfit every Monday. They wear a different outfit every Tuesday. They wear a different outfit every Wednesday. And if they're overwhelmed by choices that they're making, but they need like stability in their lives with that, that is an idea that you can use to maybe help them reduce that overwhelm.
You saying like the same outfit? Like every Monday I'm wearing this particular
Yeah,
outfit?
yeah,
Okay, okay. I was like,
yeah,
honestly there, but that makes sense.
yeah. So every Monday you wear the blue t-shirt with the jeans. Every Tuesday it's a red t-shirt with the jeans or sweats.
Whatever.
Yeah. And then prioritize sensory comfort over aesthetics. We're not on the cover of GQ here. Just let your kid be comfortable. And then involve kids in shopping, but if they are overwhelmed by choices, then reduce the choices that they get, but involve them in the shopping. So with my kids, I might search something online and then pick a couple things out and say, okay, what do you like out of these? If they say they don't like anything, I don't open up the whole World Wide Web. I pick a few more things.
Go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I pick a few more things and I give them that option. So that's just an idea there. And then buy duplicates of favorite items. I think we have 2 shirts each of my son's favorite shirts because he has to wear long sleeve shirts with the hood. He has to, or he refuses to go to school. And he has to have certain ones. And so I just got the same pack of 5 shirts. I just bought 2 of those. And so now he has 10 shirts and we have enough shirts to last if we go somewhere or can't do laundry for a minute. Like he has the shirts that he needs. So yes, buy duplicates. And then you can allow mismatched or unconventional outfits. My one son's favorite outfit was this wild shirt. It was very loud, very bright, very patterny. And he wore that with equally loud, bright, patterny shorts. And it was his favorite outfit. And you know what? It made me
He's making a
cringe.
statement.
It made me cringe, but he loved it. And that's cool. He loved it. And then model acceptance. So if you don't like what your kid's wearing, but it's okay to wear, like when I say it's okay, like it's okay for the weather outside.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be letting kids freeze to death or
Yeah.
in the summertime if they have snow pants on with their jeans and all that. We're not gonna do that because that's dangerous for the weather. But if it's okay for the weather and what you're doing, then just let it go and model acceptance and don't guilt them into wearing what you want them to wear. Just some reflection questions that you can think about. What story are you telling yourself about what your child should look like? And then who does that story serve? So is it serving your child or is it serving the judgy neighbor that you have that you doesn't matter about their opinion anyway? Or your judgy mother? That might hit closer to home.
Mom Club.
Yeah. So just think about that. Like, what story are you telling yourself about what your child should look like, and who does that story serve? And then who is more important, the person's opinion or your child's nervous system? Just think about that. So just remember that supporting autonomy through clothing builds regulation, identity, confidence, and resilience. And when we let our kids be who they are, even in their clothes, we build the safety that they need to grow. So I invite you to think about that. And yeah, thank you.
I invite you to, and you can blur out your children's faces, but I invite you to share pictures of their wildest outfits because I think that could be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know there's some out there.
We'll take pictures from the neck down.
There you go.
And I'll share them because I wonder if my kid still has that shirt and shorts. They're so awesome. I just wouldn't wear them together, but they're so awesome. So yeah, we'll get that. And then if you're having a little trouble with shooting on yourself in parenting, I invite you to come to our summit on March 13th. It is free to attend. If you want more perks and the presentations, like the longer presentations from our panelists, then you can buy the VIP ticket. If you can't join us live, you can get the VIP ticket for $47. But yeah, we're going to have Jessica Frew come, who was on the podcast, and she's going to talk about shoving the shoulds of parenting. I'm going to talk about connecting with your child in their own way, not in the way that you feel like you should connect with them. And then we'll have 12 other panelists speak for a few minutes, and then they're going to do a Q&A. So if you're interested in that, go to everybrainisdifferent.com. And with that, we will see you next week.